welcome to Full 42 again. We're talking about our top 5 board game mechanisms today. It's going to be a short one. Short for us, right? Maybe,
Sure.
which usually when we say that, it's like an hour and a half. If you're watching this later, you're like, oh my God, why is it that long? And it's because we BS for a while. We talk about other stuff. We wait for people to come in and talk and say hi to us and all that. And we talk about board game stuff. We have announcements and stuff like that that's going to come up, may or may not, be a part of board game or whatever, but who knows? If that bothers you, fast forward to the actual part where we do it. So
that's why this thing isn't called Board Game 42. It's the full 42.
Yeah, it's everything, and everything takes some time, I was reminded.
It's not.
Yeah, I was reminded about how like a friend of mine said something about like, man, I'd watch your show, but it was like 3 hours long or something like that. I was like, you don't have to like do nothing else, but you don't have to put it on the TV and sit on the couch and watch it. Like when we started coming up with this, I always listen to stuff while I'm doing work, have it off to the side. We're an off to the side show, I don't know.
As long as you say off to the side show, not a side show. That's weird.
I don't know what the front show would be if we were the side show. Who would want us?
Sometimes it's a shit show, but other than that.
Sometimes. Hello, everybody.
Howdy. Yeah, it's one of those things you can put on if you're watching live. You put it on like Matty P does and does work while we're bullshitting. Or if you're watching this later, what we should consistently do is put timestamps so you know what we're talking about and how you can fast forward to the important stuff. But
there we go. Nice.
Watching the Mets, huh?
Yeah. Nothing we ever say is that really important. Nothing I say anyway, especially me. I mean, like I never have announcements and stuff, right?
No.
But hopefully we entertain. You could come on here while it's live and talk about stuff. We usually put up your stuff. Undivided attention, man. I don't know if I could keep my undivided attention.
I love it.
Yeah,
somebody should do it, really, honestly. But
what was that?
I'm sure Eric pays more attention to us than you pay attention to me. I'll put money on that one.
That's a low bar.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's the truth. Oh, nice. Oh, that was this one. Sorry.
So since I spent the first 5 minutes of this telling you why you shouldn't watch, I should ask for people to. Oh, wrong one. Sorry about that. Yep. Sure. Thumbs up, all that stuff. Here, big thumbs up. Little one over here, one over here. We got them all over the place. Give us the thumbs and all that. I haven't even looked to see if since we started doing the big thumbs up, if it made any change. Do you think anybody cares? They just ignore us. Watch.
Maybe. Well, if they're watching it off to the side, they don't even see the visuals, right? So they wouldn't see that.
Yeah.
KuzCon.
There you go. For the FOMO for not going to KuzCon. I know. I feel it. I've especially felt it from looking at all your posts on Facebook where you're showing everybody coming. I was like, I like that person. I like that person. I like that person. Why am I not there?
Yeah. This year feels different. It feels different. There's when I started the posts for the guests and the events and the sponsors and stuff like that are normal, but when I started putting together the posts for the special guests that were coming, it topped 21. I think I ended up with 22 or 23 now. And then when I put together the supporter one that I launched today, I was going to do one every day of like, thanks for sending us some stuff for Play to Win or thanks for whatever. But I ended up with over 50 publishers that are sending stuff for support, right? Not only library support, but Play to Win support. And like Sean from KTBG, Helena is sending him banners to put up in the ballroom. So like the support for this year has definitely been tremendous. And I know Peter's in the chat, but for Christ's sake, he sent me an all-in Andromeda's Edge for the con too. Like this year has been, it was like Robert, was it last year or the year before? Robert from Arcane sent me 5 copies of Foundations of Rome. Like, this industry consistently reminds me that it is full of absolute tremendous people.
Well, and you're one of those, and that's why you're getting that much support. To be honest, I mean, you are reaching out to people who are looking to help out, and you're finding good people in the industry. You're a good person, and that's why all this goodness is happening. So I'm jealous I'm not a part of it.
I mean, you are anytime. You just.
I mean the con.
Yeah, you're just too far away. You live in hell.
I mean, it's Texas. I can see why you might say that, especially during the summer. Yeah, check out the jersey.
Yeah. Look at that stitch too, like real good stuff. It's comfy. It's got the for those hockey fans. It's got the dual. There's almost two collars, but it's got the dots in the fabric, and it's comfortable. It came out really good. I'm going to get a picture. Everyone that got one, I'm going to get a picture of everyone together at the con. So
cool. You can Photoshop me in there.
I will. I'll make sure I do that.
Don't do that.
With your Darth Vader mask.
I've seen your Photoshop skills. Don't do that.
They're not good. They're good.
So, do we want to jump into announcements while people are still pouring in? Well, we got everybody showed up on time. We even started at 8:01.
It was 9:01, but your fake time counts, I guess.
Sure.
Thanks,
there
Peter.
You go.
I appreciate it. And again, I know I shared them. It was a year to the day when I got my little Facebook memory of when the meat and the meat and the bread dragon came last year that Peter had sent, and I got the kids hugging them. And then he sent the crystal and the potion, and they did the same thing. So it was good timing that I could post that picture again. Their joy. And then I think I sent it to Peter, but I didn't post it. I was doing work at the kitchen table. I was sending an email or making a post for QSCon or something. And Mika comes into the kitchen with the meat and the bread dragon and puts them on the bench for the kitchen table and just started playing with them, patted one on the head, and they adore those things.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Batman protecting mine right here. So, or they're protecting Batman. I don't know which one.
I think Batman is protecting them from that creepy ass puppet. That's what's going on.
What? This guy right here? He's waving to you. That's your friend right there. Here, I'll zoom in for you.
Looking.
Yeah, there you go. You guys need to see him right there.
Fucking creepy, man.
He's just an old man Muppet.
And your upside down trouble box is trying to bite his ass.
It's not upside down. You're upside down.
It's upside down. Clearly, look at this one.
Your whole shelf is upside down.
Just the 3 games are upside down.
Yeah. So see, you just said it. They're upside down. Ha ha ha. Worst comeback ever.
Yeah, whatever.
But effective.
That's all I heard. All I heard was.
That's fine.
All right, yeah. So let's do the thing. I posted. Hi, buddy. Throughout the show, if you're watching this from a QSCon perspective, and anyone has any questions about the convention, how it's working, what to expect, where to go, shit like that, just drop it in the comments, and I'll get to it, or we'll get to it, or happy to answer those questions. I did post about it. There are a lot of first timers this year, which is kind of cool. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll remind again later too. But just put them in the comments.
I got a question. When are you going to do HoostCon? Come down to Houston.
Yeah,
have HoostCon.
Yeah, you got to find me a place.
I don't know.
We need a location. Find me a hotel. Find me a hotel that has a good ballroom that hosts at least, I would say, probably do 150 people, 200 people first year.
Sounds like a lot of work. I got to leave my house to do that, don't I?
No, I know. Do it in January when it's 75. It'll give you an excuse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If there was a convention here, I would not suffer anyone a summer convention. It would definitely be let's see, maybe February.
Yeah.
Because January's too close to Christmas, something like that.
Yep, not gonna do it. No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I wouldn't put anybody through that.
February's like our freeze time. You might get like a day of like kind of chilly. You could wear a hoodie.
I like hoodies and hockey
Yeah.
sweaters, but I also, I mean, you with what, a frost warning, you're out of power for a week and a half, so that's probably bad timing too.
Right. I got 3 hoodies, and they sit in the closet until around late January, February. I get to use them.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, sounds like work.
It does. I need you to do it. I could do all the back end stuff. I need you to find me a place.
Yeah,
And
during hurricane season. Yeah.
Hi, buddy. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also don't need. You don't
Board Game
need.
Geek in November. Yeah.
Mhm.
What was that? You don't need what?
You don't need to leave the hotel. You just stay there and play games, and then you're in, like, the con is in the hotel. So you don't. That's exactly what, like, QSCon's the same thing. The ballroom, same thing with Gathering, same thing with when Dice Tower Con used to be a thing. Like, that's one of the draws for me with QSCon, was having it in, because you can have it in an event center, you can have it someplace else, but then you got to leave and go to the hotel, and it closes it down. Like, if it's in the hotel, you just crawl upstairs in your sweatpants and you go to bed.
Yeah, this way I don't even have to move my library.
This is true. This is true. Figure out how many people you can house, and we'll.
I think like 4 people can park in my driveway.
Perfect. How many people can
Sounds
park?
like a euphemism.
How many in your house?
I don't know. Depends on if you want to be shoulder to shoulder to people.
Sleeping? Probably not.
Oh, no. Yeah, anyway, none of this is announcements, and I hit the announcement button like 10 minutes ago or a minute ago. I'm not good with time. Hey, there's a little timer up there. Okay, it definitely wasn't 10 minutes ago.
No.
But some of it's announcements because you just announced ask questions about QSCon if you have any.
You said it right. That's like the second time you've ever said it.
Did
right.
I? See, I don't think about it. So when I get it wrong, you can't,
Thanks for not thinking about it.
I mean, I don't like think ahead, like how do I pronounce this as I say it?
Mm-hmm.
Unlike like certain board games that I always have to ask you about.
Right, like Teotihuacan.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
I may need to ask you about that one again later.
Oh, cool. That's good.
Okay, so we have our we have. I almost now I'm thinking about it. QSCon, is that right?
Very
okay.
Good.
Yeah, think about it. No, we have we have that. Obviously, that's happening and stuff. Do you have any other announcements outside of that, or are you just
That's it. Think of that when you say it.
QSCon.
Perfect.
Oh, there you go. Fixed.
Thank you.
All you have to do is change the way it's spelled.
Yep, QSCon. So phonetics. You're more phonetic.
Now your hockey jersey's not correct though.
It's correct for us. It's not for you. Christine, thank you.
Nice.
If you have any questions, please let me know. Yeah, QSCon.
If I think of Q from Star Trek and it's his convention,
it's whatever you need to say it correctly. That's perfect.
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I know Q. No, I know Q. But I think of Q from Bond, not from Star Trek.
Oh, sure. That's another good Q.
Yeah. Hey, Jay. Hope all's well, buddy. And thank you. All right, yeah. So announcements. You want to start with your probably one? You ate a chicken wing this week. That was your announcement. What's your announcement?
I did not eat a chicken wing this week.
Whatever. Soup. You have a different type of soup. You put.
I haven't had any soup. No. This is the worst announcements ever. No soup, no chicken wings. Your go.
Did you have blueberries in your oatmeal this weekend? Like what's your highlight? What's your announcement?
What do you think I eat?
I don't know. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what the announcements are. What did Chris eat this weekend?
I had a sandwich today. I don't know.
There you go.
I am very boring. That's why I don't have any announcements. It's your turn. Go.
I mean, I have tons of announcements. That's why I wanted you to go first.
Oh, yeah. Well, then just you go, and then I'll say something boring. And then you go again, and I'll say something boring.
Perfect. I love it. That's a great plan. Let's do that.
I've also introduced the pencil with my talking. I don't know why.
Like yeah.
It's just sitting here. So now I'm like a conductor.
More. There you go. Eric's going to breaking news at 11. Mayo or ugh. I saw a clip of a mayo eating contest, and it
Ugh.
made me gag, like out of a jar, like a big Hellman's. Oh, it's disgusting.
This depends on the sandwich, right? I mean, you're not going to put mayo in some sandwiches, or like if it's a tuna sandwich, you put mayo with it, right?
Oh, mayo's in the tuna.
But I had a veggie sandwich and I had honey mustard with it. So it all depends on the sandwich.
Yes, it depends on the sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You're in Corning. Good job. Oh, you should see Dan. DPH Games is out of Corning. Did you go to Millennium, Mike?
Evan's dad was a conductor. That's a cool job. Sorry, we're both talking to two different people in comments.
Okay. I'm not bringing it. Mike can hear me. And Christine, if you're talking about the mayo eating contest, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, definitely. Glass blowing.
Corning.
I don't know which one of us is he talking to there.
He's talking to Mike, who's in Corning.
Oh, there's more than one conversation going, of course.
So I'll keep it going. So this weekend, I went up because I don't have enough on my plate. So I decided to basically leave the country for the weekend. And I went up to Canada to hang out at Daryl's. I hang out with Daryl and his wife, Tanya. They hosted me at their house. Their house is beautiful. I got to
Daryl
see
Andrews, for those who don't know who you're talking about.
Co-designer of Sagrada. He and Adrian, the other co-designer of Sagrada, and myself are making a game in Infinite Black called Vast Grim. And we have 2 boxes. They're 2 campaign boxes. You can either one separate, but you can put them together for an overarching story. And we have the production copies, the early prototype production copies, and we got to get together and play them. The first box was play tested a lot by Brian Collin, who created Vast Grim, and his family. So we were confident in a lot of that stuff. It was box 2 that we needed to kind of attack, and it went really well. I'm very excited about it. It's super fun. We actually made a couple of the scenarios, like we tweaked it to make it a little harder because they seemed too easy, which why not? So that was a great. It was awesome to get to hang out with Adrian. I haven't seen him in a while, and I love Daryl and Tanya. They're wonderful. And then I got to see Sean from KTBG, and Eric Lang was there when I got there on Friday, so we got to play a game. I saw Richard Lanius prototype that I can't talk about, which is kind of neat.
Great announcement when you can't talk about it.
Nothing to do with me, but it's a game that he's got. Probably won't be the theme, or at least the stuff that he made for it. But the game's it's super good. It was really fun. So we got to play that a little bit. And then Saturday we kind of tore into Vast Grim for a while, but then I played Cities, the DeVere game, Cities, the Phil Walker Harding.
Yes, I've been wanting that one.
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah,
of course, it's DeVere.
I want to get it. It's really good. So Daryl said it was being compared to Life in Reterra.
Okay,
and I get it. You're doing a 3x3 grid, and that's the game, and they're 4x4 tiles, right? So just like Life in Reterra. Life in Reterra is a 4x4 grid. You have the buildings you're putting down, you got the gears, and it is a different game, and it is similar in the fact that you have a tile that is terrain, 4 terrain on it, like 4 quadrants, I guess, on a tile. Good. I want to play it. I think Corey said he might bring his too, but I'm happy. I want to play it. I'll teach it. I'll play it. It's really good. I think there's space for both games. I don't think one is better than the other. I think the Venn diagram is just because they're tile laying, grid base, like that kind of thing. But the way that things are working, you have 4 workers. There are 4 rows of stuff you're getting, and you can only put 1 worker on each row. Yeah, Life in Terror is one of my favorites.
Okay, sort of like a what's that one that starts with G? They did the same thing in Meadows where you pick something, right?
Different. So Meadows is that cross section, right? Like Quadropolis.
Yeah, not a G, a Q. Yeah,
no,
Quadropolis.
You do the top and the bottom, and then where that kind of like Targi, right? Where you put the things and then you're doing where the intersection is. That's those kind of games.
Okay.
This one, there's 4 rows. One is like an objective that you get to score on. One is the tile you get to place, one are the towers you get to build, and one are the items that you get to put in the parks or the lakes. Each row is something different, but you can only put one of your 4 workers once in each row. So you can only put your worker in the tile row once. You can't go twice, right? And you're only getting 8. It's only 8 turns because you start with 1. So do you wait? Do you think that the tile you want is going to be there in a couple turns because you really want to get that one other thing that you need? Really cool decision making that's happening in that game. Very impressed with it. I mean, I'm not shocked. It's Phil Walker Harding and Steve Finn. I get it. They're good, but the game's solid. Love it. And I don't understand how Devere is doing what they're doing. The game with the bits that are in it is $30. Not even like it's 20, whatever, $25. I don't understand it.
It's like a deal with the devil with those people. I don't understand what they're doing. They're able to make these awesome games in this little box, sell it to you for a great price, and they're just knocking it out like that. I don't understand. I would love to see behind the scenes what their day-to-day is, how they're doing this. They must be getting, I mean, you're working with designers that are tried and true, right? So they must be getting these games just almost at completion. They're like, let's slap some art on it and get it out there,
which is great. But what I don't understand, like the stuff that's in it, there's wooden components, there's plastic components, and like I get the tiles, they're punch board. Okay, fine. There's a deck of cards. But like for that price with what's in that game, it's phenomenal. And I think Ruterra is more thinky. I'm sorry.
I think that's what he's saying. The other way.
I think Cities is more thinky because you got to figure out what you're getting, how you're placing it, how you're scoring all your stuff. You have the objectives. It's not a public objective system. So there's objectives on the board, but you're claiming them. So like you got to put a meeple out there to get something that's going to give you points for every 4 tower in your city, but only you get to score that stuff. So like grabbing those for yourself, it's kind of like the buildings in Ruterra, but there's way more of them and it's open to everybody, where these are not. It's yours. That's it. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, public ones.
The city on the top, there's 3 of them that just kind of chill. Sure, that's true too. It's great. You should play it at QSCon. It's great.
Yeah, I want to try it.
It's a good one.
Basically anything Devere, I'm gonna grab at this point. I mean, they can only let me down at this point. It's yeah. We'll see.
We've talked about them as being one of those companies that when their name is on it, and they still consistently deliver. Even the small games. I know Eric will chime in here, but that little card game, Ouch.
I haven't played it.
Ouch. It's a card game where you shuffle a deck of cards and they're face down, and you're going to flip over the top card, but you have to pick what side of the card you want to flip over from. And if you flip over and there's part of a cactus on it, then like you touch the cactus so you don't get to score points, but you're trying to like collect. Like some of the sides of the card don't have a cactus. So you're kind of guessing face down, like, all right, a little bit of information. You can hedge your bets. Like this one might have 2 sides. So I'm going to pick from the top or whatever. And you have a 50-50 shot at not getting pricked by the thing. But even that, like, it's just everything that they've been putting their name on has been just a solid
mechanisms, which is the theme of this episode. So that's good.
For sure.
For my announcement, I could talk about some games I played this weekend.
Perfect.
I played 2 games and didn't finish either one of them. It was my brother's birthday and he gets to pick the games.
Oh,
so he picked Merchant of Venus, 4-player Merchant of Venus. And we made it to like, I think round 14 out of 30 and had to put it into that to go to dinner. And then when we got back, we decided to play, what was it, like 6 o'clock maybe? We decided to play Star Trek Ascendancy with 5 players. And so around 11 o'clock on the 5th round, I think, is whenever we decided to call that one quits as well. So
that's a quick game, though. It's only about 20 minutes.
Which one? Ascendancy?
Yeah, it's a quick one.
20 minutes until your next turn? Yeah.
A great game to start at 6 o'clock at night. Or
It
7
is kind of a fun one, but yeah,
Jesus.
it's but nothing against either one of those. We did a house rule. You know how much I hate house rules.
You love house rules.
But we did do a house rule. My brother wanted to do a house rule on the traveling on Merchant of Venus because that can be pretty cruel.
Mm.
So it just lightened it up a little bit.
It's his birthday, so
yeah, of course. And you know what? I kind of liked it. But it came out in 2012, so it's like a 12-year-old. Well, it's a remake that came out from like what the 50s or something like that. So, but 2012, that's still a long time. So maybe I don't know. Maybe after 10 years, house rules are okay because design palettes change. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm getting lightening up on the house rules thing.
Wow, I never thought I'd hear it.
Yeah.
So for those that are watching, if you ever see Chris at a convention, bring up how you've house ruled his designs because he loves.
No. I'm not light on that one. You can house rule my games all you want. I just don't need to hear about it. It's a weird thing. It always feels like, hey, I fixed your game, Phil. Yeah. And I know it's not meant that way at all. In fact, I should be just happy that people are enthusiastic enough to play it and try it their own way and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're excited about it. And they make it better because you should have done more to design it.
I mean, to be fair, if games are out that long and they've been played thousands of times by then, maybe people do come up with better stuff, you know.
Well, that's what I've said it on the show before, but like when Richard makes a game, Lanius, my co-designer from Batman,
me too.
When he makes a game and he doesn't feel confident that it's done, he'll put it away for a while, and then he'll play something years later that will clue him into like, oh, that could work here, mechanism wise, that would work here. Yeah. It would fix this thing, and then he'll pull it off the shelf, implement that mechanism, basically fix his game that's been sitting there because, kind of like Lucas with Star Wars, like. CGI wasn't available then, but he knew like it would be a little bit better. So like future Richard, he's planning for future Richard.
Yeah. I mean, it's always a little bit, it's all about the delivery when you talk to designers or people who make the game or developers or whatever, whenever you're saying, hey, this is what I would have done. It's all about how you deliver that information. You know, there's one way to say it that doesn't sound like you messed up and here's how I fixed it after one play or whatever, 10 plays or whatever. Yeah, I know.
I can imagine something like Andromeda's Edge, which I think, Peter, correct me, but I think it was at least 2 PAX Unplugged ago, that we played the little version, the little wooden version that you had. So all the time that you put into that, and someone's like, oh, I fixed your game. It's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Stepping on
I just rewatched Return of the Jedi just to get off on a little tangent for Star Wars. It wouldn't be the show if we didn't. I just rewatched Return of the Jedi, and I don't mind any of the changes that Lucas made, except for the no, whenever he picks up the Emperor and throws him. Mm-hmm. Oh, just why? Why did you have to put that in there? Anyway. This is not the Star Wars complaining office. This is announcements.
Yeah, so I guess on my end, I mean, I have Lucas painting. I have some show and tell. But mostly, again, I'll say it, like QSCon is this week. So if anyone is watching that has any questions, because I posted earlier about answering questions, if you have any questions about what to expect, or yes, you're picking up your badge there. I had a couple people today like, should we have gotten the badges yet? Nope, they're physical. You'll pick them up when you get there. Sigh snoodles. Oh God, we're gonna do a Star Wars episode. It's gonna quickly turn into a Star Wars episode.
Whoa.
Yeah. So if you have any questions about it, please holler. Put the question in the chat, and we'll get to it as we meander through this maze of a show.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a maze, right? We have one thing to talk about, and yeah,
that's what we do. It's what we do. Yeah. It makes the show that charming that we have no idea what's coming next.
I am closing can of worms. I don't think you can close a can of worms.
Opened
The whole point. Yeah, that's I'm going to a brand new, what do you call it, when a bunch of designers get together and like test play their designs.
like a game jam. Are you making them or are you play testing?
It's like I'm playtesting someone else's thing. Just I'm meeting them all for the first time tomorrow, so
Nice.
let's see what that's like.
Nice. Yeah, retreat, a playtest day, prototype day.
Yeah, it's just like an evening, get together and talk about each other's designs and play test one or two of them and help each other out, kind of thing. I don't know any of the people, so it's a first time weird thing for me to attend. So
Nice. That's good. That'll be fun. I want a full report of what's coming.
uh, fair enough.
I made the announcement, didn't I?
What is the food rule about the games? Oh yeah. What do you have to eat over there? What do you do for food, people?
There's a restaurant and there's places within walking distance. The restaurant has some deals for us, burger, hot dog, stuff like that. And then you can walk to a couple different places. There are some places, if you're local, you know a couple of places to eat around there. The food rule around the games, it's so. I mean, I'm a little more particular because the library is actually part of my collection. So, like, no Doritos and Cheetos while you're eating or while you're playing. Like, what you would do at your house. And if you're one of those people, please don't at this. I don't bring you food. Don't listen to Peter. Most people will play and take a break. Like having snacks at the table is fine. Did you just lick a garbage pail, kid?
I didn't lick it. Good catch, though. That is a garbage pail, kid.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm aware.
But it was quickly up, and it's not one of the famous ones. So
yeah, but it's got some sort of drawing with the name in yellow on the bottom. Like that was
here's one of my favorites, though. Not to derail more.
Why are you coming up with garbage pail kids? Just
it's part of my show and tell that I was going to do afterwards.
Oh, all right. I'm like, you just sit there. What does Chris's workstation look like?
I did not read Funk, and I was like, "What are we talking about?"
Funk and Waffles is great. There are a lot of places. Some are like well known. There are a lot of places around the area that if you have a car and you're willing, like if you are coming in and you have somebody who has a car that's willing to, drive off campus kind of thing, there are plenty of places to go that are fantastic. But yeah, for like the food rule around the games, just don't eat sloppy pizza while you're playing a game. Like it's what you would do at your own house. Like be respectful, be like they're not your games, so like treat them with care and courtesy. But some people will, they'll play and then eat and then play. Some people will have like pretzels or something while they're playing. Like just treat the games well.
I have really weird stuff around me all the time. It's really what happens.
I believe it.
I still have DVRs that I can record on right here. I don't know why.
Oh my God.
Who does that? No food. I don't put food around I don't bring food upstairs. Got to keep it clean.
Perfect. Yeah. If we're in Chris's house, we'll be at HoosCon. And that's when
I like that he wrote HoosCon.
If we go to HoosCon, it's sloppy pizza and Cheetos. That's it.
All right. Any more announcements?
Nothing. No, nothing necessary. I talked about the game. I'm excited about the game. From the 3WS perspective, the Canvas Critters is launching in November, so I'm excited about that. There'll be more about that coming once the prototypes, once we get the pieces, and I can send them out to content creators and get some videos made. I'll be pumping the hell out of that game. So, but yeah, I'm good with announcements. I have some show and tell, and then we have Lucas painting. So
nice. Show and tell. Tell us show.
Oh no, I want to see Garbage Pail Kids.
I mean, it kind of gave it away now, right? It was basically I was going through some old boxes and stuff, and I found tons of not well kept, but they're actually not that bad because they were in a plastic box. But these are like, I mean, I was a little kid when I collected them, but some of my favorite ones in there. There you go.
I definitely can't read it. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, it's all. But anyway, I just wondered how many other people collected these things. Ugh, gross.
I still have all mine.
A lot of you still have all yours.
I do.
I have a second and third series.
Nice.
But I don't have the first one. Apple Quarry, I have that one somewhere.
Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah. We're working on Whisperwood. Is one of our next games.
Are we announcing the game?
Yeah, I guess. Oh no, I mean I announced it a while back that it got signed, but it is being worked on. So.
Oh, nice, good. Yeah, excited about that one.
And that was a horrible movie. It was definitely. I have a giant.
I
remember when they made giant ones.
I will. That is huge. Jesus.
Yeah.
I will not be patting down west. I mean, you can if you'd like to. I'm pretty sure Malort will be on the premises, but it will not be in the premises. It can be anyone else's. Also, I think there's a couple people that need to have it that haven't had it, especially some hammers.
That's one of my favorites there.
Bud Monkey, Jesus.
I think some of this inspired like some of the stupid drawings I used to do as a kid.
I don't see the connection.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't go gross with my stuff. So.
No, you went manly in that comic book.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
A little bit.
Massive Men?
Massive Men. Yeah. Hi, buddy.
I need to remake that comic.
If you haven't watched that episode, go back. I forget which one it is, but there is an episode where we revisit 12-year-old Chris and his comic book.
Yeah, I drew a comic book. It's called Massive Men. Yeah. I wish I had the cover to show because that was, yeah.
It's brutal. Concrete.
But anyway, yeah, Garbageville. Yeah, definitely. Did they come up? They did. And it was gross. That's all I got, really. I just saw that and I thought it was funny and thought I'd show it today. So, what you got?
So, on Sunday, well, before we do Lucas painting, on Sunday, we went to the Blue Jays game, which was super fun.
Baseball?
Baseball, yep. Sat in the direct sunlight for the better part of 3 hours. It was hot as hell. Little bit of a breeze every now and then, which was cool, but the facility is beautiful. Love what they have there. It's a really nice ballpark. And I wanted to get something from the Blue Jays game. So I went into the shop, and for those that don't know, the dominant color of the Toronto Blue Jays is blue. A little bit of red for the maple leaf, and then there's white trim, right? So blue, white, and red for the most part. And I walk into the perfect.
It's one for you.
Is he throwing up out of the back of his head?
No, it's just coming through his finger.
What's on top? Oh, okay. Jesus. So I walked into the shop and was unbelievably surprised to see splashes of orange, which made no sense to me. But I got 2 hats, which I am in love with.
Oh. Orange Jays.
Love it. And then I've already duck-billed this one, if Daryl's watching. I told him I would duck-bill it. But this one's light blue and orange.
Weird.
That's sharp as hell. Like, I'm in love with these hats. But one's a snapback, one's a fitted.
You do wear a lot of hats.
I do wear a lot of hats. And I did say I got 3 hats, right?
Is it a big fuzzy top hat?
No, it is not.
No.
So a few months ago, they had, you might know this name, even though you're not a sports fan. You know Jackie Robinson, yes?
Yeah, baseball player.
Right. And they retired his number throughout Major League Baseball. Mariano Rivera, best closer ever, was the last player to wear number 42 because he was grandfathered in because it was his number. So retired throughout baseball. So they had Jackie Robinson Day, and one of the hat that they were giving away, it was just a snapback with his autograph on the back, right? Obviously not
Nice.
Bill Stick, with the Toronto Blue Jay.
He has better handwriting than I do.
Do you want to guess what's on the front?
A 42.
Boom!
Nice.
Isn't that neat?
Isn't it neat how I paid attention to your baseball story?
You did. I'm completely shocked that you were listening to me whatsoever because you're going through your childhood.
Yeah, I'm looking at Garbage Pail Kids. Maybe that's what it takes. Is I need a visual thing while I listen.
Yeah. So he got me one of these.
That's pretty cool.
And I got a 42 hat. That was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah. That's my show and tell. Other than the Luca painting, that's all I have.
Oh yeah, Luca painting. All right, and I promise you, we will get to the top 5. There we go. See, we're waiting for people to come in. People who love the list.
That's right.
Yeah. So Luca painting.
Yep.
Introduce it to those who are new.
So Luca is one of my sons. He is going to be 3 in November. And since 2 Decembers ago, he's been watercolor painting on canvas. And every Monday we take one of his one of his pieces of art and present it to see what the hell is wrong with all of us. So like a Rorschach test, what do you see in the picture? Chris is usually very disturbed that
I'm going to try to go lighter. Going to try to go lighter here. And watch him show like nothing but black and death and evil.
Yeah, you'd think that I would like strategically pick ones that would just force you to go dark too. But I don't do that. So this was done August 29th.
Why did you do that to the hat? I also wonder why you would destroy your own hat, but
I just bend it a different way than most people will bend it, like curve it. I just bend it this way.
Yeah, destroyed. Yeah.
No, because when I wear it this way, so it's back.
Yeah, it looks awful.
I don't care what you think. That's how I do it. I can't wear straight hats often. Like I don't like the straight bill. It's weird. I know Daryl does it, but I don't like that. And I don't like these because they're stiff up here. So I usually wear them backwards, but then sometimes this gets in the way. And if you duck bill, it's something I used to do in high school that I've done to a couple of my hats lately. And this is one of them. But I purposefully got a hat to do it to, so I didn't ruin that one. So, because Daryl also made like a cringe when I said I was gonna bet. He's like, really? He's like, it's your choice. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. All right. So anyway, this was August 29th. Done with his left hand still, and this is today's offering.
Offering. Ooh. Oh. I said I wasn't going to go dark. Someone help me out. What do you see? Someone else have something nice and pleasant to see to get the image that I have in my head out.
No, I want to know what that is.
I guess I'll say, but I don't want to taint it. What else does everybody else see? What do you see in there? I like the colors, orange and blue.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong there, right? It's the 42 colors. Pull it back a little bit. Your name is covering some of it. There you go. Okay. Yep. I saw like a blue platypus roadkill, and then there's like a dark cloud in the distance and the shadow of that dark cloud. So it's like, it's even worse because it's like there's darkness past this. Hammerhead shark. Thank you for not killing something. You're on us.
That's a good one, Sarah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. That's the thing that, that has a,
yeah.
The blue is a ghost and the flesh color is the body. This is the moment the spirit leaving the body. All right, so it's not just me that went a little dark with it.
No, that was almost universal.
I mean, the brown on the left connected to the blue is the duckbill for the platypus, and then the feet are the other brown. So yeah,
And it's dead.
I hope so because it looks pretty broken. What was he looking at while looking at this?
Oh, when I tell you what it is, you'll see.
Docks at two ends of lake. Okay, that's a nice one. Yeah.
That's good, Jay.
Hasn't erased the roadkill vision for me, but
No.
not growing out of it. I see. High school. Coffee and water stains. I do see the coffee stain. Definitely, that color definitely looks like a coffee stain. I guess the water would be blue. Nice. All right. So, what was he looking at?
What you want to know? What he called it?
Sure.
It'll make sense once you see it. Eric's got nothing. Wow.
Coffee, water, egg.
If you notice, there's that. You see the gray?
Oh, I didn't even see the gray. No.
It's hard to see. It's actually
you need
white.
a better camera.
He likes doing well. It's white on white canvas, which makes no sense, but he likes it. But you notice there's also two little dots above that little line there.
No, I don't see that.
You can't see two dots right there.
The two orange dots. Yeah.
I mean, no. Above this line, there's two dots.
No, I don't see this. I believe you. I just don't see it. Oh, okay. I kind of see it. Yeah. Okay.
So that kind of would like two eyes and a mouth.
Okay.
Yeah? So the name of this one, and I apologize for future Luca if you're watching this. Dad is sorry, but it's Woody.
Ah. So it's Woody from. Okay. Well, he's got the right colors.
Right. So he's got the hat, and he's got the orange, he's got the pants with the boots, right? But something right in the middle there.
Oh God.
Right.
Okay. Well, see, you went a different direction with it.
Well, because I know that it's called Woody, and now it's like
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going back to the squished platypus.
Sure, you can do the platypus. Also, the docks at the lake is much better than that. But yeah, he was looking at Woody, his toy from Toy Story, when he was making that picture.
There's a snake in my. That's
sure
funny.
is.
That's
sure.
So the neckerchief. Yeah, that's the neckerchief.
Yeah, that's the neckerchief. If I gave him red he's not really good. He wouldn't do the dots to make it. He'd just draw red all over the thing, and then it would be like a dead Woody. So I left it. Yeah, he is an artiste. I got to do a count. I know I'm over 300 of those. And now I don't know what my count is though. I don't know how many he's done in the 2 years. Yeah, you can't. I mean, it's the lighting here. It's crap, and my camera is garbage. But you can see that there's one dot there, and the other one's over here. So knowing that that's a face.
Yeah.
So, there it is. That's today's.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah, I couldn't stay away from the darkness on that one, but
you're on a streak with the darkness.
Yours was worse, so I don't feel bad.
So that scene where the shark comes out of the toy chest cracked me up. The first time I saw it, I had to pause the movie. I wasn't ready for it. It was great. Yeah, I was not. I mean, my side of this is different because sometimes I ask him what it is that he's doing. So I have my own thing. But when he was painting this, like I knew what was going on because his Woody toy was on the table, and I'm like, look at the hat, and he did the hat, and look at the boots, and he did the boots. And then when he was doing the blue and it just came up, I was like, oh God, this is going to be good.
There you go. Auction him.
Yeah. I don't want to lose him. I don't want to get rid of him.
You could give one to everyone who gets a badge.
Could have him make them. Yeah, that's true. Maybe next year. And Mika's starting to do it too, so I'll have more.
There you go. Yeah, you're getting your own workforce. Just like pump them out. Yeah.
Yep.
sell prints. There you go.
Oh, that's true. I could do that instead. Yeah.
You can sell the ones that you show on 42, so they're also already on here.
It's a good idea. We have something to talk about.
Okay, so you said we'd be about an hour, and we haven't started a list since 50 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just rock it in 10 minutes. We'll be good.
All right, why don't we jump into the actual title of this thing?
This is what happens. Get to talking, and we're hanging out, and it's also helping me forget that in 2 days, the con will be starting to get set up, and the chaos will continuously hit me in the face for the next week.
I have one more thing to show.
Oh,
I didn't think about it, but it's just sitting here, so I might as well. So I GM a Dungeons and Dragons game, and so I have them about to go into a whole cave full of orcs, right? So I drew all this on Illustrator, and you can see if I hit the mic. Sorry about that. You can see all those little grids.
yeah.
This is a representation of a giant map that I created that is table size, and there's 9 of them. So like this part right here is an entire size of a table, like an actual table, and I redrew it by hand on a gridded paper that big. So I have 9 of these giant map things to put down on a piece of paper and put minis on. My
Lord, that's fun.
Yeah. So I can't wait to dive into that. I got it all set up for Sunday, this last Sunday, and they were about to go into it, and then they were like, "Oh, let's go do this thing," and teleported away, and didn't do it. So next Sunday they'll do it.
Well, send pictures or post pictures on the Discord of that. That's going to be super fun.
Yeah, I got them downstairs, but I can't move because I exercised my legs today, and I had to crawl up the stairs to get to the show today. So,
well, I really hope the chair that you're sitting on doesn't break tonight. That would suck.
I mean, it'd be the third one.
Unbelievable. Sarah, yes, almost every day. And yes, I would giggle too. I would take pictures. If he's signing prints, I will take pictures. Don't you worry. And this is fantastic. I don't know if I talked about it on the show, but Matt's bringing stuff from the shop, which I'm looking forward to. I've seen pictures of the stuff that's coming out of there. It's good.
Yeah.
And sticky buns.
Evan and I are Q's can't.
In our hearts. Next year. Jay, also, you're good, man. I hope the trip down to Florida was good. I hope you're doing well. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. The chaos is fine. I'm living with it. It's good.
I don't actually have to draw the grids. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just answering this. I don't actually have to draw the grids. I have large tablet of gridded paper.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Made for drawing stuff on. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, I just want to show that because I was there, and it's going to look really cool. I'll take pictures of it or something and show next week.
Please do.
All right, so we'll get into the list of top 5 mechanisms. I actually have a honorable mention mechanism. You said you think we're going to step on each other's mechanisms. I don't know. Maybe 1. I think 1, maybe 2 at the most, but we'll see.
I'm calling 2.
You calling 2? I'll call. Well, mine are a little specific because some of mine are like, it's this, but only whenever it's this.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
So I don't know if that's stepping on or not. We'll see.
All right, let's see. And as we get through this, if anyone is new watching the show, like if you've just come in and you have QSCon questions, please pop them in the chat, and me or any of the other people happy to talk about it. So, all right, do your thing. You want to start? Did you start last week?
I started last week. You start.
Great.
Besides, that way you don't get to step on my number 1 as much.
Imagine I come out of the gate stepping on your number 1. That'll
are any of these in any order for you?
No, of course not.
Of course not. Okay. Mine are in from my least favorite to favorite, but they're all
Right,
my
as you
favorite.
do every week, and prove that it's useless.
It's not useless because I'm not going to move them around because you can't step on them because mine are too specific.
Okay, challenge accepted. All right, so I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna start with tile placement,
All right. Not one of mine. Didn't step on it.
but
Oh, see,
not
you
all.
got specific too. You got some. All right.
I have specifics. It's not like Carcassonne tile placement or Queen Domino tile because those are tile placement, right?
Yeah.
But more in the realm of what I talked about earlier with Life in Reterra, with cities, like that kind of tile placement. There's also one of my favorites, Glenmore. If you haven't played Glenmore, it's fantastic. Those type of games that have some sort of objective, some sort of connection, some sort of do I split up my forest or do I make it one contiguous forest? Those kind of tile placement games. So tile placement is a mechanism, like you said, in a specific kind of way, not all tile placement games because some of them are not good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'll start. I'll start with tile placement, more, and to make it more specific, especially because I just played Cities over the weekend and played Life in Reterra last weekend. Those kind of games, those kind of tile placement games, I adore them.
I agree with you that Carcassonne isn't good. So my number 5. Okay, so my number 5 is deck building, but
Okay.
with specifically whenever you get to promote cards or cull them.
Mm-hmm.
And by promoting is like I've got this thing that gives me 3 things. I get rid of it to make it now it gives me 5 things, right? Something like that. The only game I can think of that does this in the way that I appreciate it anyway is Path of Light and Shadow.
Oh yeah, one of your favorites.
Yeah, and that's why, because if anybody else knows of a game that does this really well, I know there's a lot of games where you can kind of do it, like maybe you get 1 or 2 cards promoted. This Path of Light and Shadow lets you just like destroy the deck in different ways. Like you can improve your deck along the way and like really refine it, and it's my favorite deck building game because of that. And I wish more games kind of paid attention to that and wanted to and did more promotion stuff. I know there's a lot of ones that let you call it, but improving or advancing it, that's really cool. I think what's the one that has the see-through cards, and you could put stuff in them, you know what I mean? Starts with a V.
Canvas or Mystic Veil or Edge of
Mystic
Darkness.
Veil is the one I'm thinking about. I haven't played Canvas, but Mystic Veil is kind of cool in that way. That's a different way of doing it. That's not bad. I'm okay with that one, but yeah. So that's my number 5, deck building.
So fun fact, there you go, Dave. I fixed it. The game that Daryl, Adrian, and I are working on, you have a deck of cards that are starting. You have a starting deck of cards, and as you play the game, as you progress through the game, you can upgrade your cards, which will take it and make it better, but it's coming out of your deck and you're putting in an upgraded version of that card.
That sounds cool. Yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
Yep.
A lot of these are going to be like, why don't we have more games of this? So
perfect. I'll make sure I write a list and make a game for every one of them.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
Oh, nice, interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like. So it's not necessarily so like summer camp, which I really liked. It was a deck builder, but it didn't have a way to cull. You're just adding more stuff to your deck, which is just diluting it. So you have no way of getting the stuff out to mainstream it or mainstream it.
Well, the really cool thing about Path, and I've talked about Path of Light and Shadow before, but only because a lot of people don't know the game, is that if you go the good side, then you're taking your cards and you're promoting them. But if you go the evil side, you're culling them. You're like, just get rid of this card. And then, of course, you're still kind of promoting a little bit, but you're promoting the ones that are culling all the rest. So you get this really small deck of awesome people, or you get this big deck of pretty good people, but just kind of depends on which way to go.
Cool. That reminds me of that video game Fable. Everything you did, you either went good or bad.
Yeah.
Like your character either went good or
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
At least seeing a halo, or you see the devil horns start popping up over them as you played.
That was a great game.
Fable. Rahdo worked.
What was that?
I think Rahdo worked on Fable. Maybe Fable 2.
Oh, yeah.
One of the
because he used to work in video games. Yeah. All right. So that's my number 5. Are we doing the snake thing?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So my number
ideas.
What was that?
Let's give Eric more game ideas.
I'll give anybody game ideas if they get it done. I got enough games I'm working on. All right. So my number 4. Let's see. I just want to make sure. Okay. So
they're in order. You shouldn't have to make sure anything. They're in order. So just do the next one.
Yeah, but as I was looking at one, I was like, but I like that game more than that game. And I was like, do I? But I'm going to keep the mechanisms in the same order I was going to do. So my number 4 is engine building, and I know that's very vague. And I'm doing a shameless plug here that Andromeda's Edge right now has my most favorite engine building ever. And I don't care if I worked on it or not. It's in my top 10 games. Not all the games I've worked on or even made myself are in my top 10 games. So I feel fine saying that. But there's no specific way of saying I like this engine builder and stuff. But there are just better engine builders. Gizmos is really good, but that's all it is, right? It's a engine builder, period. Yeah. But to me, the way you know it's a good engine builder is if you are like surprising yourself in the middle of it. You're like, okay, I'm going to put the ship here, and that gives me this, which lets me do this and this. Oh, wait, it gives me this, and then now I can do this thing, and now I get this. And like you get excited, and your excitement level goes up and up and up. Yeah. That happens every single game of Andromeda's Edge, and even Gizmos, whenever you go, oh, this triggers this, and I get this. Like you get excited. That's how you know you have a good engine builder. There's a lot of poor engine builders out there. And you know, a lot of times it's not their main mechanism of the game. They have something else going really good for it. And they go, yeah, a little engine building. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah. So that's, cool. That's my number 4 that I forgot to put up. There's 4. That was my number 4.
Episode number 180.
Yeah, but this is the first time. No, I like the third time that we've had the numbers. I need to move that over a little bit, don't I?
It's perfectly fine. I'll just leave my name that way.
I need to grab it and drag it this way. But
yeah, for sure, you're gonna do that. Yeah, right. Dude, that's kind of a thing with games. Like they want it to end just as things get going, because then you play it again. Then you feel like, oh, I now I know what to do, so you play it again. Don't encourage, Sarah. So you feel like you've done a thing, right? And then you're like, oh, but, and then you're like, well, I could do it better next time because now I get it. And then you'd play it again.
Yeah. I mean, I know several games that people have the house rule of extending them so that they enjoy those engines more.
Yeah.
You know, so
except the game Obsession. Don't play the long version of Obsession.
I've never played it before. I know you don't like that game though.
Ugh. Even the short, like once on.
Don't a game. People worked on that.
I know. I like. There's a lot of things in that game that I liked. I don't gravitate towards the theme, and it was too much rinse and repeat. Even the short version, like I can't imagine the 4 rounds that are less. It was 19 for the long and 15 for the short or something. I mean, I like what's going on in that game, but there's too much rinse and repeat sometimes in games. And it's just like, I guess I'm doing that again. Like, that's cool. But I do, cool. I said it. I do. There's things in that game that I really did like. It's just 19 turns of it was brutal.
All right. Well, I've never played it, so I can't argue with you.
Well, play it and then tell me why.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
you're really selling it.
Play it and tell me why I'm wrong. That's the selling point. Is you get to tell me why I'm wrong.
I tell you you're wrong anyway. I don't need to play a
Then
game.
you'll have evidence.
I don't need evidence.
Fine. All right. I'm going to go into resource management.
That's a vague one. You have specifics?
Correct. So specifically, when you're doing resources to complete quests or recipes.
Okay. Recipe fulfillment kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoy games where I have to go and get some stuff to complete a thing. And I know what I need to complete, whether they're public objectives or private in my hand. And I have a reason to go out and do the thing because I have something I need to make with those things. And the game behind you and the game behind me are one of my favorites that have that resource. Like you're going out and you're dealing with your resources and you're trading some resources for better resources because you have a recipe you need to complete. And then a Sweet Mess does it really well. I really like the mechanism that Sweet Mess did with the bottom where you're putting it into a slot. You're getting that immediate benefit and then it's going to go off the table, but you have to have the resources to do it. And then on the opposite side of like a traditional type of game, the game which it's hard to find, and I apologize. You can go get the hibachi version of it if you want, but Safranito. I love Safranito, and it adds dexterity to the resource management because you're tossing those discs, those poker chips that have a center hole, and you're trying to get them into one of the 9 ingredient bowls, but there are 4 action spots in the center, and then you're using the ingredients to fulfill the menu options, like that kind of resource. Like I might have cards that I don't need, but then I can trade the cards or I can keep the cards for other stuff that might come up later or mill the deck for a recipe that has them. Like any sort of thing where I'm gaining stuff to complete a quest or complete a recipe, though, that kind of resource management I love.
Nice.
There's another one, but I'll talk about it under a different mechanism.
All right. I like games that do that too, but I never think about that as a mechanism reason why. I feel like that's just in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm saying I don't like it or anything like that. I just don't ever think of it as a mechanism, but you're right, it is.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it's kind of just a smooth thing, like easy to see. I need to do that. That's my target. Go get it, kind of thing.
Yeah. But like I wouldn't say recipe fulfillment. So recipe fulfillment can be done multiple ways. That way that I just explained. But then Maki Master, you're doing recipe fulfillment because you have the cards that are getting you, like that's the recipe you're doing. But your tile placement, the recipes in an order, right? And if you can get it in perfect order, cool, you did it with
Sure.
excellence, or not, and you just get the bonus points. So it's still recipe fulfillment, but then that one's mixed with tile placement, not go
That's
out
true.
stuff, right? Like this kind of resource management is more worker placement. Like even in Safranito, those poker chips are your workers. In Sweet Mess, you're picking that bowl as your resource as you're getting your resources to complete the tasks. Like even Lords of Waterdeep is like worker placement, get the resource. Worker placement, get the resource.
Right. Kind of like what Corey is saying. It's less fun whenever you just fulfill it and kind of thing. The thing that pops to my mind is Scoville.
Yeah. Yep.
And they have recipe fulfillment, but I don't think of that as being the part that like I like what you have to do to fulfill that, right? The moving around the farm in the right way to get the stuff that you need. So it's the same thing, but I just didn't think of it that way. That's cool.
Yeah, I think the resource management is the mechanism, and then you're doing it to fulfill cards or quests or recipes or whatever. I don't know if recipe fulfillment. I like the idea of it being a mechanism, but I would put that under the umbrella of resource management because you need the resources to fulfill the recipe, right?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what is your number 3? I changed it this time. So
nice. Congratulations.
That better?
Perfect. Yep. Way better. Jesus Christ.
They can see your name now.
I know, because I moved it over. I had a whole bunch of dots. So I'm going to bring in the rondelle.
Oh, you son of... You suck.
There's one.
You knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm. I gave you 2 chances to say rondelle before me, but you put him in some order. So, is that your number one?
It's my number 2.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll get your number one in the next one then.
Great.
Hey, King's Guild.
I think I know the King's Guild one. It's like a smaller box, kind of like the Veer size. I think came out 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I could be wrong. I might be thinking of something else. I think I played it at BGG Con. The one I'm thinking of is a lot of fulfillment like that. It's pretty good. Cards layout to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Cool. All right. So the Rondel. Let's talk about the Rondel. So there are a lot of games that have Rondels. The two that I will mention are different. In themselves, they are different. And it's what I like about each of them. Why I like a Rondel is shown in both of these. One is Red Cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
I adore the dice system in that Rondel, where you're picking the die and you're moving it the number of pips, and then where it placed is how many dice. So you're using the dice in 2 different ways, but you're using that as a Rondel, and that's how you're getting your resources. Yep. And then my other favorite is when the Rondel is giving you resources, and it's kind of like a spin down mechanism in the Rondel. So in Palace of Carrara, there's a Rondel where the material you're getting, the resources you're getting are on this Rondel, and you got to pay X amount of stuff to get what's on this pie slice. And then you got to pay X minus 1 for what's on this pie slice. But when that Rondel moves, all the stuff here now goes here, and now some of that shit's free. Like the way, so like you're waiting, like, can I push my luck a little bit to like get it, to get the blue and the stone a little bit less, or whatever it is. Like
that sounds kind of like Glass Road does a similar thing. It has a bar that moves and adjusts things. Yeah.
Correct. So 2 different types of Rondel systems. The Rondel is moving, and you're getting to pick from the thing after it moves. And then even Finca does it really well too. Which I just saw they're doing. Pandasaurus, I think, has the rights to the remake, which I can't wait for. I love Finca. I hope they don't fuck it up. So where the Rondel is moving, but then in Red Cathedral, the Rondel is static, and then you're using the dice to figure out how to best get the gold or the gems or the stone or whatever you need by manipulating the dice that are around there in a Rondel fashion. So I love the Rondel when it's done in specific ways. Those 2 more specifically.
There you go.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Excellent. Okay.
All right. So, yeah, I'll talk more about Rondels because I have a different, not slightly different, just slightly different take on it. More to say on it, basically.
Okay. That works.
Whenever I get to that. But right now we're doing number 3. So my number 3 is bag building. And specifically, I've noticed that there are 2 different types of bag building. So there is bag building that reflects deck building in a way, where you're gaining things to it, you're drawing from it, and then you're using those things for actions. And then there's bag building that is a push your luck system like Quacks, Quellenberg, and stuff like that. That one's fine, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one where you can use it as an action, like a deck building kind of thing. Orlean, Altiplano, Meeples, and Monsters. Those are the ones where you take those items and you use them to select the actions you're doing or make those actions stronger. And in fact, the game that I'm working on with Cardboard Alchemy, my next game to come out, is one of those bag builders. And that's why, because there aren't a lot of them. And I've found out over the last year or so why, because they are incredibly difficult to make well. They are. It's just it's a challenge, and I think we made it, but so far anyway. But it's a difficult one to do, and if you ever want a challenge as a designer, try to make a bag builder that utilizes things like Orlean does, or Altiplano. Even Altiplano is a more difficult one. Stuff.
Yeah, that's a good one. Nice.
And then we can do my number 2. Which
to go back, Sarah said something earlier about components are fun, and bag building, like Quacks, the components that are in that bag out of the game, the cardboard punch, it's fine. They work. They do what they're supposed to do in the game. But if you can find a copy or
those glass ones or whatever they are,
you can buy the Geek Up bits on BGG. We don't get paid for this. It's just one of the things you can do. They have Geek Up bits, and Quacks is one of the ones. But a friend of mine 3D printed a holder for each of those ingredients with the recessed top that you put the ingredient in, and then he put resin on top to give it like a gloss feel. Being able to reach into that bag and feel what's going on, even like what is it? The Arkham Horror, the LCG. When you're reaching into that bag to see what the modifier is going to be, the cardboard tokens are blah. But if you put them in those little coin purses, like feeling in that bag and feeling something makes such a difference in a game like that. Where Quacks is super fun because of the game. I hate reaching into that bag. Like, I'd like the push your luck element of that thing, but like it feels so flat being in there. And like Altiplano or like something that has something tangible. I know Cardboard Punch is tangible, but it feels flat. Something else that's in there. Meeples and Monsters was a little bit different, although the game suffered from other things. I think it did a little bit different in there because you had different shapes in that bag that were kind of fun, right? Same thing with Charcuterie. Charcuterie's got different shaped flat tiles in there. But there's just something about being able to reach in and get those. Yeah, it just feels better. It just
Have you played the deluxe Wonderlands War, which is another push your luck bag kind of thing? Because those pieces are really nice too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I wonder why. Well, I have the deluxe Orleans, and those pieces are all wood tokens versus the cardboard, and that's nice, you know.
Yeah, it's more. It's not needed, right? The game doesn't need all of that stuff, but there is something that makes that feel so much better and makes it stand out as a mechanism. Otherwise, it's just cool.
Speaking of charcuterie,
I'll get back to you on that one.
I never thought of asking for charcuterie at a restaurant.
There are a few places that have it, but I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. Good question.
All right, so on to my number 2. See, I changed it right there.
Number
2. We already know what that one is. It's the Rondell. I did mention the game that I can never pronounce. Teotihuacan.
Oh,
Teotihuacan? Was that it?
Yeah. I think
okay, there you go.
This is a turning point for you. You said
if I just don't pay attention, if I don't try, it just happens.
Wow.
Or maybe comments can send me a text that tells me how to really say it.
Yeah, I spell it phonetically.
Yeah, because if I look at the title, then I really get lost. So
there you go.
See, I don't. I'm not going to remember that.
Oh, it's like a Star Wars character.
Teotihuacan. I mean, that helps.
That's how Jabba makes the pod races in episode 1.
But anyway, so that one, which is funny because I didn't realize until a friend of mine mentioned that was Rondell, but it is because the entire board is one giant Rondell that you run around doing actions on. Mm-hmm. But Crusaders, Thy Will Be Done is probably one of my favorites. Right. And for me specifically, the Rondells that you take the pegs off one action that you're going to do, choose to do that action, and then distribute the pegs, which makes you like you look and you go, okay, I want to do this action, but there's only 2 pegs on it. Mm-hmm. So before I do that action, I got to do an action over here so I can distribute some pegs onto it. So that it's a 3 action instead of 2 kind of thing. I like trying to work out those puzzles. That specific kind of puzzle to me is one of my favorites. So
nice. Wow.
Teotihuacan.
Teota.
Yeah.
Sarah, I am unsure of Hickory Dickory, but I am getting a copy at QSCon and I want to play it. I hope it's good. I've heard good things about it. It looks beautiful. We'll see.
So yes, Rondell, as you well know, is my number 2.
Yes.
And so we're to your number 2. You have you have 2 more chances to step on my last one.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Londell was a low hanging fruit. I think the next one I got.
I
Though.
mean, yeah.
We'll see.
You
So
know my taste after 2.5 years or whatever.
yeah,
3 years.
This is
How
our
long have I known you?
fourth season, buddy. Thanks for
4th years. No. But we met like in November of 2020, so it's 3. It's like 3.5 or something, right? September of 2020.
Go and keep digging. Do you want a bigger shovel or
No, no, it was November of 2020 because that's when my Troubles Kickstarter was going on, and you interviewed me.
right? But we're mid-September.
Oh yeah, it's 2024, right?
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, that's me not knowing what year it is.
This is our 4th season. You can keep blaming COVID if you want. That's fine.
Sure. Yeah, that's what it is.
Jesus Christ. All right. So for number 4,
I'm a horrible friend. Yes, you're number 2.
A wonderful friend. I am going to talk about Hidden Roll.
Oh, okay.
But not your traditional Hidden Roll. Like Resistance, where like there's 2 out of 5 members that are bad and they're trying to botch it, right? Like, okay, fine.
That's classic. Yeah.
It is classic, but I don't know. I don't get much fun out of that one. I like when there is more of a like Dark Moon.
Oh, okay. You like trader kind of stuff.
But you don't know who people. I don't like Battlestar Galactica because once you're outed, you get very powerful when you're outed as a Cylon. But if you're caught and you don't reveal it, it's brutal for a while for that player. Like you're kind of just sitting out of the game and you're like, guess I can't do anything. Stuff of Legend, again, a little internally, they fixed some of that. Like Kevin did a really good job of making sure the game was punishing enough where you can sit back and laugh at everybody and just make sure like you're trying to be useful, but you're hiding your stuff when you're discarding. You can lie your ass off, or you can really tell the truth because the game is that punishing where I don't need to lie and try and betray everybody because there's 7 people that are about to just wound the shit out of our team. Those kind of things. We played The Thing at the Gathering this year, and at 8 players, that was super fun. Super fun.
Man, you don't need to remind me of that game. I'm still not happy about what happened at that game.
So great. It was epic. I
ended humanity. I shouldn't have trusted Eric.
I love those type of games. I love them. I'm
that was
not
a good one.
Good at them. If I'm the trader, I'm usually not good. It takes me a couple times to play a game to be like, oh, that's what I should have done. Or, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done it because I can't really keep a straight face. And I know when someone, like if you started accusing me, I'd have to come up with some bullshit lie, but I'm going to be outed real quickly. I love those kind of games. And
if Di's listening, yes, I should have listened to you.
Yeah.
Every time it's brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good call, especially those types. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I love that one. I love those type of games. They're hard to find. They're like good ones are hard to find. It's not necessarily like a one versus all type thing. You have to not trading. Like your role is, and it could be multiple roles. It might like 2 rooms in a boom, right? There's the one neutral player and there's the red versus the, like, you don't have to be, there could be multiple, just not this side, that side. There could be multiple things going on in there too.
Have you ever played A Study in Emerald?
No, I have the original.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I haven't played the original. I have the second version, which is now out of print itself, but I don't know if there's much changes in that. But yeah, that one, there's 2 teams. You don't know who anybody is on. You're doing different stuff. You're either on Sherlock Holmes team or you're on Cthulhu team. Yeah. 2 great teams to be on. That's a good one. You should play that one.
I want to play that one. I'll bring it in April.
It's very good. Right. One thing I do like about you, because you brought it up, I wanted to mention, but oh crap! Now the name is out of my head. Sorry. Your game with the teddy bear.
Stuff of Legend.
Thank you. Stuff of Legend. One thing about that I love is that the roles can shift. And at one point when I was playing, I was like, all right, I'm doing pretty good. They're gonna die, they're gonna fail, and this is all perfect. And then something happened, and suddenly I was on your team. I was like, man, you guys aren't doing well. We gotta get this back together. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah. And one of the big differences between that and Battlestar is like you're stuck with your role in most games. It's you.
Right.
Like you're either good or bad or whatever. And with stuff, there's that shifting trader where you have the ability to, if you have the right card. But if shit's going down, one of those boogeyman cards will force you to shuffle into the unused card for the game. Now you got to reconfirm to everybody that you're still not the trader, and the game just you immediately, there could be no trader in the game, and you're immediately accusing everybody of being like, why would you do that? That's traitorish. Like it does such a good job with that.
It also gets rid of all the hard work you did to get everybody's confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been the most helpful, nice person and all that. Someone says, shuffle cards with me, and everybody trusts you up until that point. You shuffle them, and you're still good, but then suddenly everybody's like, I don't trust you now.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, I'm still good.
Yeah, and the more you try and say that, the more you look bad.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, it's a good one. But you didn't step on mine. So
no, I think this one might though.
All right. Number one. What's your number one?
So I'm gonna go with,
I shouldn't let you go first. That's what it is, because then I'm doing the one last. And okay.
Well, no, last week I got both. The last 2 weeks I got both your 1 and 2s, and last week you went first. So
that's true.
I'm gonna go with it, almost an obvious one, but again with a caveat. Worker placement.
All right. Didn't get mine.
I love worker placement. But I really love them being dice.
Oh, okay. That's very specific.
Love dice. The dice as the worker.
Yeah.
Being able to, I mean, I guess Red Cathedral kind of falls in that because the pip has something to do with it, but they're not workers. They're going out and like, that's how you're getting your resources, so you can see them as workers. But having the dice pip value, or icons, depending on what game you're playing, like they could be icons that you're using as like, what was the one that there's the one I showed you that had the fan made Enterprise. It's D6 something D6. They have something D6 Armada now, but it's a solo game where you're rolling your dice, and your dice symbols are the people on your ship that can either go to the bridge, or the engineers, or they're the doctors or whatever. So they don't need to be pips. But if the dice is your worker, and you have to decide what dice to put out there, that is phenomenal. And then a game like Forges of Ravenshire, which we've played, which is just slaps on all levels. You get to take a worker back, and where you're taking it back from is giving you a resource. So not only am I putting a worker out there and I'm limited to what the pip value can be to get the thing, then I need to take one back, and that's also giving me a thing. So you always have this pool of 3. The colors matter, the pips matter, where you're pulling them back from matters. Like, that game on so many levels is phenomenal, but it does what I love about dice being your workers in games.
Yeah, my favorite game of that genre, I think, is Euphoria from Stonemaier Games.
Really good. Yep. It still holds up to that game, I think.
And what?
I think it still holds up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I played it maybe about a month or so ago, maybe 2 months ago. But yeah, I still enjoy that game a lot. And it's one of the reasons is because he does a reversal where you don't necessarily want high numbers, because you could lose dice if you get too many high numbers, but also high numbers give you more stuff.
Yep.
So it's this wonderful little balance beam you're trying to walk on the whole time. And it's dice worker placement is a great way to make workers more interesting, right? Mm-hmm. They have other ways where, like Yokohama, where like you have one big one and a bunch of little ones, or I know there's other worker placements where you have different types of worker placement. You know,
White Castle does that too.
Which one?
White Castle.
White Castle. I haven't played that one yet.
White Castle. Again, I've had my things with White Castle. But White Castle has a good one. Like Lords of Waterdeep is the one that everyone goes to for worker placement, but that game can be so brutal and so restrictive with the locations, like having one
Sure.
white priest, whatever they are, at the plinth. Like
The
once
cleric, yeah.
yeah, the clerics. But like your game, this one that's in the perfectly right orientation, the bumping is amazing in that game because you're never restricted. You're just the choice of are they going to leave? Do I give them an action back? Like that's really like having a good worker placement game it's good. But like Eric said, Artemis Project does it really well too. That kind of I like worker placement games, but then you give me a dice as my worker and what the value it like you got a little bit of randomness, but you still have a little bit of mitigation. But the value of what's there, whatever's on top, whether it's a symbol or a pip, that matters. That gives it another level of choice. It's not just me putting a worker out and doing it. Like with cities, you have 4 workers, you're putting them out there to get the things, but you can only put one worker on a row. I can't double up on a row. I have to put one on each of the. So at some point, I have to get one of each of the 4 resources every round, and the choice is when do I do it? Can I take a round off? And are you gonna go for what I need? No, I don't think you're gonna. I'm gonna make this choice. Fuck it, backfired. Like that kind of thing where there's a restriction on your worker, but then give me dice and then give me the pullback feature. Oh my god.
I agree with this. I always say either reward or don't reward, but don't punish, right? I don't like games that make you take 1 step backward, 2 step forward. Just let me take a step forward.
Yeah.
You know, why make me do the dishes to get my point back or whatever it is? You know, it's
or the choice is you're giving somebody something for what you're doing. Like in your game, you're giving an action back to somebody. So like, can you push it one more so they waste their action to pull their ships? Or fuck it, I really need the space carrot, so I'm just going to go there and hey, you get an extra action this turn or something. Like that choice matters, and that makes it feel so much better than. Guess I'm not getting a white cube this round. Guess I'm not getting a white cube next round either. Like that's the worst.
A Berry was good. I played that once, so not would need to play a few more times to get a good review on that. But I don't think that it did as well as Euphoria does with dice, in my opinion. But life is punishing enough. Yes, I agree. Yes,
we play games to escape the punishment of life.
Beyond the Sun. So is a worker placement game. I don't really think about it as one, but you're right, it is one. I think more of that big tech tree is it's the hero mechanism. If you want to talk about it like it's a dish, right? That's the hero mechanism. But you're right, it is a worker placement.
I haven't played that one yet.
Oh, that's good. Do you like tech trees? It's really cool because as you unlock the tech tree getting better and better stuff, those are places you can put your workers to activate them, and other people might not have them unlocked. So it's kind of you're unlocking actions basically only you can do kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
It looks, unfortunately, it looks very boring because the tech tree is all cards out, right? Yeah. So it doesn't look like an amazing game, but it ends up being one. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but
that looks super dated. Like that game looks dated. I know it's kind of Rio Grande's thing, right? If it's the game I'm thinking of, that was done by Rio. It just looks dated.
Yeah, we kind of got away from dice a little bit on some of these, but yeah,
just worker placement in general. I do love worker placement games. Like I think if I have to go into a game, if you tell me it's a worker placement game, like I'm like, oh, what? Like, yeah, I'll play. But then it's like that Vince McMahon meme, right? Where it's like one thing and he looks okay, and then the second thing he's like even more jazzed up. Like, if you give me worker placement and give me dice as a worker placement, and then let me get something for pulling the dice off or even a worker off the board. Yeah. Like that lights up all the goal. Like that's the thing for me.
Yeah. See, the reason why worker placement isn't on my list is because I don't have what you just mentioned. I don't have that first level. If someone goes, it's a worker placement game, I'm like, yeah, everything is. Like it's total flatline for me at this point because there's so many of them, right? Until you say, well, but it has this and this and this. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, pique my interest a little bit. And then when you pull back, it does it. Like, oh, those are really good. But you can't just. I have no interest if you say worker placement. I need more. So that's why it's not on my list. But I do like worker placement games. But that's only because I like games, and all games are worker placement games at this point. 80%, I won't say.
Yeah, there's a lot of worker placement. It's easy to put something out and get something for it. But yeah, Evan, I agree. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it looks. I mean, it seems to be a real thing, but
yeah, I was starting to get surprised that worker placement wasn't there because I expected it on yours. I was surprised it didn't end up on mine, but once like I said, as I was considering it. So.
Yeah, I thought dice worker placement would have been one on yours. Yeah.
So finally, I get to say a number one.
Congratulations! 3 weeks from it.
Yeah, that you didn't take it from me. I did have a backup just in case, but it wasn't a great one. I mean, it was good, but it was kind of a offshoot of one I already mentioned.
I'm very glad you're not a great one. Isn't your number one? So
right, exactly. So my number one is okay. So the problem with what I'm about to say is I don't think it's a defined mechanism, but it is. I just don't know. No, I mean, I don't know what anybody would call them. I call them action cards. And what I mean by that is you have a deck of cards, and on your turn, you play a card and do that action. So Concordia, Transatlantic, what's the other one? Red Planet, Mission Red Planet.
Spice Road, Century Spice Road?
No. Century Spice Road that's like recipe stuff that you do.
No,
I'm talking about like
do the action. It's like take a blue, make it 3 red, or take 3 yellow and make it a green.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, so it does have that. I'm thinking a little like Concordia has a little bit more.
Sure.
That's a lighter version. Yeah.
Okay.
Which doesn't mean bad. It just means that's the lighter version. So I wasn't thinking about it. But you're right. That does it. So action cards is what I call it. I don't know if it does have maybe it's another way of saying it. But if you do know what that's specifically called, then I'll start doing that. But
Gloomhaven has those, right? So what do they call it in Gloomhaven?
That's true. Gloomhaven has, because you're choosing one of those actions to do. You play it, you do the action. Yeah. And the reason why I do that is because like Rondell and stuff like that, I like it whenever my choices are limited, but I see what my choices are. And I go, I'm going to do this and then this and then this. Like in Concordia is one of my favorite games. It's my second favorite game. And the reason why is because I've had games where I take like my deck of 10, 12 cards or whatever, and I sort them into what I'm going to do the next 10, 12 rounds, and I lay them down. And then if my plans all come to fruition, I'm like getting excited that I haven't had to change anything yet. Then somebody does something like, okay, let me reassess and change it. I just like doing that. That's not really how you're supposed to play the game, but that's something I like to do to see, if I can make that happen. But it's the same reason why I like Rondell's, because I like going, okay, I can't do this action until I do this action. And then this one does this. And every single action, if it's a good one, if it's a good game, are good actions. It's not like, okay, I got to go do this thing for a cube, and now I got to go over here and get these 2 cubes and go over here. Like it's a fun action every time you play on your turn, right? So that's my number one, mainly because there aren't a lot of games that pull it off very well or even kind of attempt it. And I've tried to design one twice and have failed, which happens a lot. You always try stuff. Oh, that's not fun. You put it on a shelf somewhere. But Brondo. What's Brondo? I don't know what Evan's talking about.
Reading. So I think what BGG defines that as is action cues.
Action cues?
Cues. Like QSCon cues.
Hmm.
Players create action cues and perform them in sequence. Cues can either be a batch cues, where all the actions are executed in a sequence, or rolling cues, where the actions are added to the end of a cue, and the first action is then executed. Players may each have their own queue of actions, and they may be shared. Action cues for movement is programmed movement, which I would assume is like Told Express.
Yeah, not programmed. Definitely not programmed. And not that you have to do it in any order either. It's just once per turn you play a card and do that action, right?
But is that card out of your hand until you retrieve them? Yeah,
yes.
so it's action cue is what they call it.
Now there is a different version of this, a slightly different version of this that I also really love, but only 2 games do it that I know of. There might be a third one, but
oh no,
Civilization: A New Dawn and Arc Nova both do the layout 5 cards, pick which one, and it moves to the bottom. That's a slightly different way of doing it, but I like that too.
So it's not action cue, although you can argue it is. It's what you're describing is actually called action retrieval. Okay. And Concordia is listed as having that as a mechanism.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, Gloomhaven has 23 mechanisms listed.
Yeah. I thought you said fun fact.
Yeah. So
I mean, the box is so huge, you know.
It's gigantic. Action cue is not listed as a thing for Concordia, but action retrieval is. And action retrieval says each player has a set of actions available to them embodied in cards, tokens, or some other affordance. Once performed, they are spent and may not be performed again until retrieved.
Okay. So that, but with cards.
Yeah, this cards.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying a specific version of that.
Yeah.
And it was what? Action cue or action retrieval?
Action retrieval. You don't get your cards back. You play it, and then you don't get it back until you either waste your turn, kind of like your ships in Troubles. Like you're spending them, and then you're retrieving them as your turn, unless there's a card or action that lets you do
That's a weird term for it, but if that's what the term is, then that's what
action retrieval.
Yeah, how many? That's no. I don't think anybody could ever really define them. But if you type in Google BGG mechanisms, there's a whole big list of those. I'll take this opportunity right now, just in case Aldi's watching. Sometimes he is, to please beg him to make a dice drafting mechanism, because right now it's under deck building, or not drafting, but building. So dice building, bag building. Right now, bag building's under deck building and dice building, and it's all put together. Yeah. So if I want to find bag building games, which there are enough of now, I have to go through over 1,000 games that have deck building. There's a lot of deck building games. I would love it if those got separated. So please do that. There are more. I often go to it looking, especially since I'm making one. I want to see other ones that are there.
I like it, yeah, for sure. And I agree. I think they're all different.
Yeah, I mean, I also see the relationship, but I mean, there's I forget what it was, but I saw here. I'll pull it up actually. Here it is. So there are auction, Dutch, auction English, auction multiple lot, auction sealed bid, auction bidding, auction turnover until pass, auction once round, auction fixed placement, auction Dutch priority, auction dexterity. If you can have that many auctions, can we please separate
bag building,
bag building from dice building? Or deck building. I mean,
that's
just my plea, since sometimes he watches.
And that is Chris's number one gripe on BGG.
That's true. It is my number one gripe, which isn't bad because it's a great site. So
it is. But I like that you were just bitching about it, and number one is still up there.
Yeah, if we do a top 5 gripes about BGG, I'm sure he'll be watching on that one.
Oh, I'm sure we should have him on. I'm sure he'd probably.
I don't think I'd have that many actually. I like this site.
There's a couple things with searching that makes it more.
Oh, there's search other than that one mechanism issue I have whenever I'm searching for that. Their search is actually really good if you do the advanced stuff. Oh, it's so helpful when we're making these lists.
And you know how to spell something like Teotihuacan.
Okay, he's agreed to that before. Like, it'd be great if whenever you start typing it in, it kind of corrects it and stuff. I think last time we were here, I typed in something and correctly said, "Yeah, we should fix that." So,
yeah. Other than that, I mean, the site, I use it. I contribute every year. I use it daily, like not only just to check comments and ratings and if anything's been posted about one of the games, but I use it on a daily basis.
to be fair, you can type in alternate names for board games whenever you put them in.
Yeah.
So I would put misspellings in with those games just so people have it pop up.
Oh, like in the system?
Yeah. In the system, like if you put in, oh, my game is Kronos with a K, you can also put alternate title CH in case somebody types it in that way.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Like charcuterie, I bet you people misspell that all the time.
I just saw a video that had Rodney and Chaz talking about it, and Chaz couldn't even say the word charcuterie. Like in his little thing. I don't know if he was doing it. He might have been doing it as part of the skit because I know that they bust each other's chops constantly, but he couldn't. Like he laughed at himself when he tried to say it twice.
I can't say anything about not being able to say stuff. So
No, you're awful.
I am.
It's not that one thing. It's just QSCon. That's really it.
In the game.
Oh, Teotihuacan, you can't say for shit. But that's, I mean, that's a different language. QSCon is not a different language. It's the end of a city.
And well, now I'll get it. QSCon.
QSCon. There you go.
Yeah. Easy.
That's it. Episode 180. We broke Chris of his bad habit. Congratulations. Thank you. Was it Matt that wrote that down?
It was no, it wasn't Matt. It was Nick's at 11G. Do you know?
Oh, Nick's. That's right. Nick's was the one that did it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Fixing me one episode at a time.
Right. By episode 200, who knows where you'll be?
I might even be half human.
Maybe.
All right. Well, that's our list of mechanisms. Tell us what mechanism we missed, what game it is associated with, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I gotta do the big thumbs up stuff. Right, also, hide your name. I made sure everything hides your name. It's very important.
Really appreciate it. Do that one. Really nice.
All the thumbs up, all the happy stuff. Oh, good. We got top 5s from other cards. I read that as card shredding. I was like, okay, starting off tough here. Card shedding? What is card shedding?
Like getting, like fine tuning your deck, like you talked about earlier.
Culling. Oh, okay. Dice trick taking. Oh yeah. I played one of those at the Gathering that was really good. I can't remember the name of it now. Do you know what it was? They were playing it around.
Yeah, that's his.
Oh, well then there you go. Yeah,
the one that I showed you.
Yeah,
it's him and Nick. It's their company.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. The one that we saw.
Yeah. Co-op hidden movement. Oh.
Okay.
Sort of like a Whitechapel thing or Dracula kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like one person's out. That's on the bottom of my list, but subjective. Flip and slide. What's that one?
That sounds.
I think he's making these up.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's
flip and slide. I think that's something you do outside on a big yellow thing with water.
That's slip and slide. Are you talking like Triqueta? Like you have the choice of like you flip it and slide it into like what is flip and slide? That's weird.
I
don't know what that
shared worker placement. That makes me think Architects. Is that Architects that does that? No. It's North Sea, right?
Yeah.
Raiders of the North Sea.
I don't think it's Architects.
No, Architects is the one where you put them in jail, I think.
What is
I get them all mixed up now. They all have the same art. It's can't pick a favorite, so like you, just a grouping of them.
Three mechanisms. Oh, that's cool. That's your limit.
Yep. I should have been included. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I picked up on it. Just what's the flip and slide? Is that are you calling that game flip and slide? Because
He's saying that's a mechanism. Maybe you flip a card and then slide it to your neighbor or something like that.
No,
Yeah.
I get what he's trying to do there, but I don't know if that's what it's called. I mean, I guess I don't know if that's defined on BGG as part of the movement. Oh. Okay, but it's card actions. It's a flip.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I know.
All right.
I got it.
That's fun.
That's the one that we signed.
All right, man. Well, I hope you have a great week with CoosCon. I said CoosCon. CoosCon with CoosCon.
You had so much promise, Chris. You had so much promise.
I didn't last one episode.
No, not even 2 hours.
I'm gonna go tumble down the stairs and
Don't do
down.
that.
I seriously cannot walk. It's insane. I was doing doing squats, deadlifts.
You broke us there. You broke us, just so you know. Thanks for that.
I came broken.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by there.
And then next week, we'll be back. Are you going to be back? You're going to be tired, dude.
It's like any other convention. I'm going to be exhausted, but yeah, we'll do a show Monday.
I think we're going to do best movies in 1997, a nice easy one, so you don't have to prepare for that one that much. Also, 97.
We talked about it this weekend up with Daryl and when we were together with Erica, and a movie came up, and when I looked it up, it was 1997, and I'm like, I'm talking about that one.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the list yet, so I don't have mine yet.
Nice.
We'll see. I can't wait to get to 99. We're going to have to do top 20 of 99 or something.
No, we're not doing that.
Top 10?
Top 5.
Fine. Are you afraid that we're going to go too long? This was supposed to be an hour show, and it's 2 hours now.
So. Because we get to talking, and that's what happens. We'll get to our top 5, but we'll step on each other's, which will really make it a top 20.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Oh, look at you! Don't start now.
That's an easy one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Yeah.
We'll see who talks about it first. Will Chris mention it first, or will I?
You will, to try to squish on mine. So I'm not going to put it in the list.
It depends, and then we won't talk about it at all.
That's true. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week. And a lot of people will see you in a couple days.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will go over it on Monday, and then we'll do the 97. It'll be a good show. Yeah. I'll be exhausted, but it'll be great.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody.